Welcome. You're listening to the Louie Minor Show. I'm your host, Bell County Commissioner Louie Minor. Today is September 2nd, 2024. Happy Labor Day. We have a lot to get to, so let's get started. Well, let's begin like we always do with the agenda for the Bell County Commissioners Court for September 3rd, 2024. Let's see what we have on the agenda. We have the invocation, pledge of allegiance, consent agenda items, consider the minutes of the August 26, 2024 Commissioners Court meeting, budget, personnel amendments, claims, account payable, payroll, restitution, jury pay. And then D, consider authorizing the annual maintenance renewal for VMware software from CDWG, contract number Texas DIR CPO 5303 for the Bell County Communication Center in the amount of $57,521.12. Then we have considered and approved the Bell County judge to accept award grant 15 PBJA-24-GG-00342-BRND for the Bell County Diversion Center from the Office of the Justice Programs Bureau of the Justice Assistance with an award amount of $1,600,000 and for a period of performance from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2028. Item 5, closed session, Texas Government Code 551-072, deliberation related to the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property relating to Priest Drive properties in Killeen, Texas, the deliberation of which is an open meeting. In an open meeting would have detrimental effect on the position of the government body in negotiations with a third person. And then 6, consider taking any action required or warranted relating to the matter of the disposition of real property located on Priest Drive, Killeen, Texas, as discussed in closed executive session. That is everything for the regular agenda. Now we have the workshop agenda for tomorrow, right after the meeting. Let's see, we have reports and updates from various county offices and departments. B, capital improvement projects, update on jail expansion and temporary jail facilities, Killeen Annex, diversion center renovations, discuss FY 2024 CIP plans. And that is it. We got a list of possible events that the county commissioners may or may not attend. We have September 11th, 2024, Killeen ISD 18th Annual Freedom Walk. Then we have September 12th, Killeen Chamber of Commerce Public Policy Council Luncheon at Central Texas College, Anderson Hall. Then we have September 16th, Central Texas Republican Women Meeting with Glenn Hagar, Texas Comptroller. This commissioner will not be attending that one. Then we have September 19th, 2024, Killeen Chamber of Commerce 91st Annual Awards Banquet. And October 31st, the 36th Annual Workforce Awards Ceremony. That'll be at the Killeen Civic Center. There is one more agenda that their commissioners are not, we're not a part of this, but it's posted and it's definitely something that we want to keep track of. You want to keep track of. It's the Bell County Elections Commission. Who's on the Bell County Elections Commission, you might ask? I will tell you. It is the county judge who serves as the chair. And then we have the two chairs of the local parties, the Republican and Democratic chair. and then the tax assessor collector, and the county clerk. All of those are on on that board, and they're the pretty much what they do is they hire and fire the election administrator. So on that agenda, they have call the meeting to order and establish a quorum. 2, consider approval of the minutes of the August 15th, 2023 meeting. And then they will go into a closed session pursuant to section 551.074 Texas Government Code, deliberation concerning the evaluation of a public officer, to wit, the election administrator. And that is it for that agenda. So, yeah, that is everything that is going to be going on. And hopefully you get attend one of those meetings. If not, the Commissioner's Court and the workshop will be online for your viewing pleasure. There's so much to talk about and kind of get you up to date on what's going on. It seems like it's just a whirlwind of events and things going on because the election is like 60-something days away, and even less than that if you consider early voting. Early voting begins October 21st, so 2 weeks before Election Day. But before we get into the elections and everything that's going on, let's recap real quick of what happened last week. Remember all that big long list of things that we were voting on and approving for the budget and to raise your taxes. I told you I was going to vote no for that because I didn't agree with what the Commissioner's Court is doing. So I want to play for you my comments on the proposed budget for you. And let me pull that up.
10. Next item on our agenda is item 11, which is to consider the adoption of the FY 2024-2025 Bell County budget. Do I have a motion on this item?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Whitson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Snyder. Commissioners, any questions, comments, discussion you want to have on this item?
I have some comments, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners Court, Bell County employees, members of the public, and viewers at home. President Joe Biden said, "Don't tell me what you value. Show me your budget, and I'll tell you what you value." So let's look at this proposed budget. To support this budget, we're raising your taxes by 3.2 cents, or over $18 million. And what are we getting for this massive tax rate increase? The short answer is nothing. The county judge keeps using the words public safety to make you think this is necessary or we have no other choice. It is not. What are we getting? More deputies on the road? No. Are we getting more deputies in courtrooms? No. Are we getting more 911 operators? No. Are we getting more juvenile or adult probation officers? No. Are we getting more clerks to help the public at vehicle registration, justice of the peace courts, county or district clerks, constable or sheriff's office, or elections? No. Are we getting any new capital projects like the engineers building or improvements to Chaparral Road? No. But let me tell you what we are getting. The Commissioner's Court is turning our county jail into a for-profit prison. The poor decision to use $63 million of COVID relief funds that could have improved lives and businesses greatly in Bell County were instead sunk into this over-budget and behind-schedule endeavor. The public safety that the county judge is referring to is to fully staffing the jail so we can gamble with this business venture. They are projecting to charge counties $100+ per day per inmate. I have not seen any contracts, and there are no contracts to produce to you today. The Texas Tribune reported in an August 13th article, the average daily fee in Texas for inmates is $55 to $80 a day, and I cannot conceive any county wanting to overpay. One civil lawsuit would wipe away any quote-unquote profits. And let's not forget, on June 17th, 2024, the Commissioner's Court authorized $2,405,000 to buy a patch of dirt by the Expo Center to be used as a parking lot. On July 8th, 2024, the Commissioner's Court authorized giving for free right-of-way to a builder to profit from. And on December 4th, 2023, the Commissioner's Court again authorized giving for free right-of-way to another builder to profit from. We could have sold that right-of-way. This budget does have some great benefits for our employees: an increased pay for peace officers, merit pay for employees, and a 2% cost of living for our employees. All of the aforementioned could have been accomplished with the no new revenue rate and moving forward with closing the central jail. In my opinion, this is the worst case scenario: increased taxes with no increased services. I do believe that taxpayers will support a tax increase if they can see what they're paying for. This budget is absent of any proof of that. I will not be voting for this budget, and I won't be voting no on the proposed tax rate.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments, Commissioners? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1.
So there you go. We now have a for-profit prison sponsored by Bell County tax dollars in the making, in the works. So obviously it's going to take some time to hire 66 new jailers, and I believe it was 1 lieutenant and 2 sergeants as well to help operate both the central jail and the new jail. And I do know that the judge wants we spend, at least last couple of years since I've been on the court and been watching it, we spend several $1 million in overtime, and the judge wants to do an overtime study. But I think we need to look bigger. We need to look at the bigger picture. What's going on? What is broken in our criminal justice system? Because there are things broken. Just this last week and a half, there was 2 incidences. One, I actually met the individual, and I'll tell you his story here in a minute. And the second one, I read in the newspaper, and they were both troubling. Now, our district attorney is retiring, and good riddance if this is the type of stuff that we're getting. This is what Bell County taxpayers are being dealt with. This is what our criminal justice system is producing. Potential victims are being hurt. Potentially innocent people are being hurt. What's going on at the district attorney's office? Obviously, he doesn't care. He's going out the door. He'll be done. I'd be surprised if he makes it throughout the whole year and finishes his term. He might just retire after the election. Who knows? But so let's get to the 2 cases real quick. So I want to read the headline from the Killeen Daily Herald. This was posted August 23rd, 2024. Charges dismissed against former Killeen ISD music teacher accused of sexually assaulting a student. And let's read a little bit more into the article. A former Killeen ISD music teacher indicted August of 2023 on felony charges after he was accused of sexually assaulting a young girl at a local elementary school, had his charges dismissed, and was released from Bell County Jail. Makalani Jones, 51, was accused of assaulting a girl in the janitor's closet at Alice Dowles Elementary School in 2022. Had his case dismissed August 13th by the Bell County District Attorney Henry Garza due to what the court being unable to prove case beyond a reasonable doubt at this time, according to the documents. The Herald reached out to the district attorney's office regarding the case being dismissed, and this was their comment. There's a time when facts and circumstances that arise after the indictment affecting pending cases, said First District Attorney Stephanie Newell. And Stephanie Newell is the Republican candidate for filling his Henry Garza's seat via email on Friday. In light of developments during the pendency of this trial, the state submitted the dismissal, and if new information or evidence is discovered moving forward, the state will revisit the prosecution of Makalani Jones. Jones's attorney, Stephen Casey, told the Herald that this was a case that should never have gone forward. It was never corroborated from a single source, Casey said. It was just, well, we got this. What are we going to do? We're going to throw it at the front of the grand jury and see what sticks. And that's not how we do justice. Jones was accused of taking a girl into a janitor's closet and assaulting her with his fingers. Casey argued that Jones had never checked out keys to a janitor's closet. The janitor's closets are locked and only the janitors have keys, he said. Casey also said the teacher, who he argued should have been a star witness, only provided a 3-sentence statement to the police that the girl was frightened to go to the music class, but he said that this was because another boy was in the class frightening her and another student, not Jones. Jones was originally extradited from North Carolina, where he was working as a teacher. He was fired from Killeen ISD in August 2022, but resigned in January 2023 before moving to North Carolina. When asked for comments about the dismissed charges, Killeen ISD provided the following statement to the Herald. Killeen ISD's top priority is always student safety, and reports of abuse are taken seriously. Our principal immediately contacted local law enforcement after receiving the parents' report. This kickstarted an investigation. Multiple local entities investigated the claims, including Killeen Police Department, the KISD Director of Investigations and School Safety, the Texas Education Agency, and the Texas Department of Family Protective Services. KISD was unable to corroborate the allegation that the former teacher sexually assaulted a student, according to KISD. As a reminder, all district employees, including the former teacher, submit fingerprints and undergo national criminal background checks before beginning work. This process requires the individual to hold a state-issued driver's license or state-issued ID card. Anyone whose criminal history indicates that the person poses a threat to students or employees is disqualified from employment. The former teacher cleared the background. We remain vigilant to keep clean KISD students safe and encourage parents, students, and community members to anonymously report incidents, suspicious behavior, and tips to www.kisdissafe.com according to the statement. And that is everything. So I met Mr. Jones, and I was shocked to hear about this case. Obviously there was some type of evidence that went forward with the grand jury, probable cause affidavit, the screening at the Bell County Attorney's Office. But this case, this individual sat in jail for more than 15 months, lost his job, lost his house, lost everything. And then Bell County just released him and said, sorry, thanks. We messed up, I guess. We didn't find the information that we needed. And just release him out onto the streets, homeless, nowhere to go. He reached out to his former church whenever he lived in Killeen, and they were helping him out. And that's how I came across him. To the allegations that what the outcry that the child made, definitely take those seriously. You have to. But for this case not to go to trial, for this case not to produce a guilty, I mean, how much longer would that have taken if all the evidence was in place? He sat in jail for 15 months. That's not swift justice. That's what's clogging up our jails. That's why we had to spend $100 million on a jail expansion, because our district attorney office, they can't get it together. I mean, what's the holdup? 15 months only to drop a case. That stuff, that should anger you. It angers me that that's why I said our system is broken in Bell County, and we need to look at it. We need a holistic approach. There was a great study that was done by Dr. Fabello with Galveston County. They had an issue in Galveston County. That's about the same size Bell County is. We always compare ourselves to comparable counties. Galveston County is comparable to Bell County in size, population. And so, I attended a conference of urban counties meeting. Dr. Fabella was there. They gave us a presentation on things that they did, and they reduced their jail population from like 97% by, I want to say, 20 points. I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, it took a lot of buy-in from everyone. It took redoing some things, but you had to look and you have to get people talking, and we're not doing that in Bell County. And it's costing the taxpayers a lot of money. Point blank, it's costing you a lot of money because we have people that are not talking to each other, and we elected leaders need to figure this out. So, but anyways, so that's just one, Mr. Jones. I don't know what, I think there's some laws out there that if you've been sitting in jail and you're innocent, that you get compensated. Does that come out of our pay? Does it come out of the state? I don't know. But this guy lost a year of his life. And I don't even think the whole story is coming out on this. More to come on that, I assure you. But I don't think we know the whole story. You heard Stephanie Newell give us that legalese talk. Talk to us in plain English. What? We're not attorneys. We just want to know what happened. Enough with the legalese. You know. So let's look at this other one. That was August 23rd. This other one came out August 30th. Not even a week later. And I'll read the headline. Nolanville child abuse trial comes to a screeching halt. The trial in Bell County's 478th Judicial District was humming along earlier this week, according to the plan, at least as much as jury trials can. The state's prosecutor already had read the indictment, and the defendant entered his not guilty plea on Tuesday as soon as the grand jury was sworn in. On Wednesday, attorneys made their opening remarks, and the state began to introduce its evidence in its case against Demetrius Woods, who stood accused of using a rope or a belt or a stick to beat a child in Nolanville in 2022, allegedly leaving marks on the child's body. However, by Wednesday, the trial veered off course when the Bell County District Attorney's Office was accused of not handing over evidence to the defense in a timely manner as required by the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. On Thursday, the judge declared a mistrial based on violations of the Brady Rule that requires prosecutors to hand over the entirety of their evidence, and the Morton Act, a clarification of the Brady Rule that took effect in August 2024. When any defendant goes to trial, it's incumbent upon the state, in this case, the Bell County District Attorney, to provide the defense with every piece of evidence they have, said Brett Pritchard, who represents the 39-year-old defendant. Pritchard spoke to the Herald on Thursday. That includes evidence that might lean towards guilty, but also exculpatory evidence. In this case, among the voluminous Child Protective Service records that the state had access to that we don't, is a family member who admitted to hurting the child when Woods wasn't even in the area. Pritchard said that his office began begging for those CPS records, and the prosecutor's office, for some reason, would not give us those records. He said that the DA finally handed the records over last week. What happened? It was during the testimony of the third witness, a Nolanville police sergeant, that the trial came to a screeching halt. The officer participated in the department's investigation of the child abuse allegations and wrote a 17-page offense report on April 15, 2023. The report was uploaded to the district attorney's office's portal on May 30th, 2023, but it was filed under the name of the alleged co-conspirator. We never received the offense reports, and the prosecutor told the judge that Nolanville PD had never sent the offense report. Pritchard said all hell broke loose when the officer got on the stand and was willing to stake his career and reputation on the fact that he had turned them over to their records to the DA's office. The two trial attorneys representing Woods raised the alarm bell over the Brady and Morton Act violations. The judge's docket entry on Wednesday indicated that the court recessed for 50 minutes to provide both sides time to gather any necessary information. The court excused the jury for the remainder of the day with instructions to return Thursday morning, which they did, only to be sent home. On his own motion, the judge declared a mistrial because he couldn't instruct the jury to disregard what the jury had just heard, which was the officers testifying about the offense report that we never received, Pritchard said. DA. Bell County District Attorney Henry Garza spoke with the Herald on Friday afternoon, emphasizing that Faulkner's own findings show that CPS records were received by the district attorney's office on August 21st and were disclosed to the defense August 22nd. We disclosed our records as soon as we received them, and the case didn't go to trial until August 27th, Garza said. The defense had the CPS records, which includes the offense report prior to the commencements of trial. I've looked at the court's findings and facts and conclusions of law, and the judge found himself in a position where a mistrial had to be declared in fairness to all concerned. We have to go forward from there. After another point of contention, that was the apparent misfiling of the Nolanville officer's police report. Every law enforcement agency that presents a case uploads their original information to us, and we retain an electronic copy, Garza said. In this instance, the law enforcement agency did not link that offense report with this case that was at trial. The Herald asked Garza what could be improved in this process. We should have had the report sooner, even if it was filed under someone else's name, but that didn't happen, he said. We're looking at ways to make certain that law enforcement agencies are complying with the requirements to disclose all information that might be relevant to a case that's being presented. I want to prevent this from occurring in the future. So what will happen next regarding the case against Woods? Pritchard said that his office would be filing a motion to dismiss. Then the fight will be on, he said. Garza said that the case is still pending before the court. This case isn't over yet. Woods was indicted March 15, 2023 on 2 third-degree felony charges of injury to a child with intentional bodily injury. Woods posted a bond of $30,000 on December 28, 2022, and was released from law enforcement custody according to the court and jail records. Arrest affidavits were not available, but 2 indictments alleged that on March 1, 2022, in Nolanville, Woods intentionally and knowingly caused bodily injury to 2 children who were 14 years of age or younger. The DA's office is trying the 2 abuse cases at one time. And that's everything. What do you think? Definitely a lot of issues going on at that district attorney's office. 2 cases back to back week, that the DA dropped the ball, fumbled, and, it's front page in the paper. I don't know how you can say the judge got it wrong or the judge is doing this out of an abundance of caution. Why can't you just say, District Attorney, I effed up. My office effed up. That's what leaders do. You take responsibility for everything that does or does not happen. They teach us that in the Army, as in officer training. You're responsible for everything that does or does not happen. So accept responsibility. Tell the citizens, tell the victims, you effed up. And then you can move forward from there. Don't try and sugarcoat X, Y, Z, should have done this, should have done that. It's the law enforcement officer's fault because they uploaded it wrong. It's your fault. It's your office's fault. And now the county taxpayers are paying for it. Because what happens now? So now this is going to have to get redone, court dates. It's going to cost Mr. Woods more money. It's going to cost the taxpayers more money because now we got to go through the court system again. The jury that was there, all the time that it took for the district clerk to send out notices to people and get them there, get them selected, them taking time out of their day, their work week to hear this case. They got paid. Now, granted, they don't get paid a lot, but juries get paid. And so, I mean, it's costing us money for this. You got to get it right. There's too much at stake. You have victims. You have defendants. You have juries. You have judges, defense attorneys. You got to get this right. It's costing us money. We got to start holding these people accountable because they're costing us money. And that's why our taxes are going up. Because stuff like this, stupid stuff like this, is holding us up. And it's like I said, it's another example of why we need to take a holistic approach on our criminal justice system in Bell County. Millions and millions and millions of dollars are going into our jail and going into our courts, our district attorneys, our county attorneys, millions of dollars. And they're messing it up. They've been there for decades. Decades. They've been in office. That they're retiring now. And they're still messing up. And it's costing you and it's costing me money. So, but anyways, I wasn't I was not planning on going down a road of criminal justice, but it just, came to mind. These two articles that happened relatively quick. But this past week, I was at the National Association of Counties. I'm sorry, the Texas Association of Counties Legislative Conference. It was down in Austin, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A lot of good stuff. Very interesting. Networking, meeting people, training, grant opportunities that are out there. Just a lot of good information. And the only person, elected official from the Commissioner's Court that was there is myself and Judge Blackburn. None of the other commissioners were there. So there is so much value that you get from these things. And I have no earthly idea why they don't see that. They go to the required training because we're required to by law. 16 hours, I believe 16 or 18 hours of training we have to get each year. But getting involved in the Texas Association of Counties, networking. I'm a member of, it's called the Core Legislative Group. And what happens is each region in the state, they'll get together, and each association. So, there's associations for tax assessor collectors, district clerks, JP and constables, treasurer. I think just about every elected official has an association. So they'll all get together and create a legislative priority list. And same thing with the commissioners court. And what we do is we get together, the legislative group, and go lobby for these things. Now, I was real new whenever I came on board. I think I was just trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. But I'm definitely going to be very involved this year or this next legislative year, and help out Texas counties, help out Bell County. I know we got some legislative priorities, and we're going to be working on those here pretty soon because we need to get those to our state reps so they can go ahead and I think they call them interim charges, or anyways, they start filing bills here pretty soon. I think like the first day after November, after the election. So November 6th, they can start filing bills. So, I mean, I'm very eager to work and do some things with them. I'm also appointed to the National Association of Counties Large Urban Conference, so as a member over there. So being involved, networking, meeting people from other areas, getting ideas, trying to bring stuff back to Bell County, innovation, and any associated funding opportunities, finding out how people are funding things in other states and other parts of Texas. I mean, there's no one party, there's no one region that, can figure it out all on their own. We have to work together, and we have to share these ideas and to help our constituents, to help our residents, to improve lives here. Also this week, the Glenn Hagar, the comptroller of the state of Texas, released a study that state of Texas needs over 300,000 homes. We're 300,000 homes behind the demand. That's how many we need. And it listed the top 3 regions of the area that are the worst as far as home prices increasing. And number 3 on that list was good old Killeen, Texas. Our home prices and the time period covered, I want to say it was 2019 to today, to 2024, our home prices increased 59%, third highest in the state. I sit on Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm the chair of that commission. And, we need more housing. People think housing is bad in certain areas. We have to do housing right, but we need a whole lot of improvements on our regulations, on our ordinances, on our zoning. Some of the easiest things to do is, remove some of these minimum lot sizes, setbacks, accessory dwelling units, allowing those. We have a real opportunity to grow our city, grow our county, if we can figure this out. There's a lot of industry around here, around us, exploding. Meta, I got an email from Meta. They want us to come and tour in a couple of weeks. We have Samsung that'll be coming online. Tesla. I read an article that another electrical vehicle company is moving towards North Dallas. So there's all this industry, all these people moving here, but there's no homes. And the homes that are close to those areas are priced out of reach. So I tell people all the time, that Austin is getting too expensive. So they started moving to Williamson County. And now Williamson County is getting too expensive. So they're coming to Bell County. And now Bell County is creeping up. I was telling a group of people that whenever I got in real estate, I have my real estate license. I've had it since 2015 or 16. And I remember vividly telling people, making the conscious decision of not doing real estate in Killeen because houses were too cheap. I remember a new home selling for $130,000. And I was like, I'm not going to expend the same amount of time, buying and sell, listing, helping buyers in the housing market in Killeen when I could do the same amount of work in the Austin area and get double the commission because the homes were selling for around $250,000, $300,000 in the Austin area at the time. I remember that. And so, yeah, I think this is a real opportunity that we need to work, again, holistically, get everyone on board, and maybe we need to have a housing conference. Let me mark this idea down now. Have our first summit, housing summit. Bell County Housing Summit. Get a lot of the people in here talking. What can we do? Where's the best locations for housing? ETJs, all this stuff. I think we need to have one because this is a real opportunity that we could do to grow our county, grow our tax base, bring in industry, bring in retail, innovation, quality of life. All those things will improve. So, thank you, listener, you listening, for helping me with that idea. This idea just came to me now, Housing Summit. I'm going to start working on that. And anyways, I hope you had a great 4th of July. Man, my mind is all over the place. Hope you had a great Labor Day. And, we only have a couple of weeks left before the election. September 10th, the first debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. I'm going to be hosting a watch party for that this coming weekend. I'm going to a group called Common Defense. That's a veteran progressive group that is organizing in Texas. They're hosting an organizing event down in San Antonio. I got invited to that. I'll be going. So there's just so much happening all over the state, here in the county, neighboring counties. If you're looking for stuff to do, there's stuff to do out there. So let's get to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's elect our first female president. Because why? Because why? I hear you. We're not going back. We're not going back. We are not going back. I'll talk to you next week.